What's up?
Hola.
Carlos, are you there? Why do you always look angry when we start streaming? You're like, fuck this, why are we here?
My roids are acting up.
Well, I mean, that's a good reason then, I guess.
Hemorrhoids or steroids?
Both.
Well, welcome back to Sinister Sinema.
What are we talking about today, Cuddy?
Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead? I wish I knew the
You go out to the field and pull up the biggest
tuber.
toadstool and dig up the little baby.
Yeah. Big old gourd-sized head.
So, Pumpkinhead.
What about it?
It's good.
Is it?
I don't know.
Is it good?
I think it's really good. Do you think it's good?
I see this every time. I don't give a shit what anybody says. This has the saddest death in any horror movie.
Yeah, little Jonathan Rednecky.
What, the Little William?
His
Little
name-
Willie?
Little Billy Harley? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Harley.
Billy Holly.
Yeah. At its core, it's actually a really sad story.
Yeah, it is. It's about child abuse. This dad leaves his fucking kid, this hillbilly dad leaves his kid alone to mind a store, a little kid, while he runs back to the home.
That fucking kid probably knew more than any of those fucking kids
Dude.
that killed him.
No, man. Well, he wasn't smart enough to not run out in front of a motorcycle.
Well, he was after fucking...
Gypsy?
Yeah.
Fuck
Running after
Gypsy.
his dog.
You don't run in front of a motorcycle.
What else was Gypsy in? Anybody? Come on.
Benji? Was that Benji?
Come on.
I don't know. I didn't look up anything about this movie at all. I don't have any notes at all. Zero.
Gremlins.
That's the dog from Gremlins? I love Gremlins.
He was like primed to be... Just the backstory. This is going to be on Cursed Films.
Oh, really?
Just the backstory on Gypsy. Like, he was primed to be the biggest dog in show business. But he fucking OD'd on heroin.
No, that's not what I heard. I heard that he was at an ice skating rink and Benji rolled up and whacked his knee.
Or whacked him off.
It wasn't Benji. It was like Benji's buddy.
Give him a lipstick kiss.
Benji's ex-boyfriend whacked him off in the knee. That's pretty fucked.
It's actually really the same dog.
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The Misfit. No, Misfits. The Gremlins. Sorry, the fuck did I say?
Dude,
Misfits?
Hey, the Misfits is
I'm-
good. It's a
No.
good movie.
I'm ordering a Gremlins poster. Cause see, when we have 3 people here, the wall over there of the storage unit, just there's nothing on it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, I muted you.
Did you
I'm gonna
really?
make you a cough button. You can like push it before you cough,
I'm always coughing.
and it shuts it off.
Es mi corazón no sirve.
I don't even know what that means, but I
It
hope your
don't
heart's okay.
It don't work. His
Don't
heart
work.
don't work.
Don't work.
So, you want to get into this movie?
Let's do it.
What's do you want to read that quote, that review?
Oh, yeah. A little blurb about it.
What's that book, by the way?
So we have a book here called Scarecrows.
I'm gonna send me a
Movie
picture of that
guide.
later. I'm gonna look it up on Amazon. I want to buy it.
And yeah, they do. It's a Scarecrow video out of Seattle, and they do. The employees do little reviews on each of the movies. And I think this was updated in like the early 2000s. So I don't have anything from past, like probably like 2004 or 5.
Seattle, that's in Oregon, right?
Seattle, Oregon, yes. So this one's Pumpkinhead, 1988, 89 minutes runtime. Stan Winston directed it, starring Lance Henriksen, Jeff East, John D'Aquino. It says, to a youngster raised in the suburbs, there is nothing more frightening than the wrath of a redneck, especially when said redneck resurrects a demon of vengeance as creepy as this one. This film taught me the nature of karma, as well as to stay out of the backwoods.
That guy sounds like he's never been to a flyover state.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always wanted to go to the Appalachians.
Me too. I want to hike the Appalachian
They
Trail.
said those things are evil, dude.
I want-
Appalachians have been around for millions of years. Who knows? Who knows what's in those fucking mountains?
There's a trail that some people
Didn't you
try
see
to
the
do.
descent, for God's sakes?
Yeah.
There's a trail that people try to do, the Appalachian Trail,
And they
there's
wind up
people
fucking missing.
that try to do it from the beginning to the end in one season, and that's what I want to do. I hope I end up missing though.
I can make it like 50, 60 feet, then I'm done.
You can drop me off in the parking lot and like walk to the trailhead and wave.
I can put fucking road tires on my weasel. My
Yeah.
little weasel cart.
Is that a euphemism?
Off-roading.
Off-road weasel. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Got your weasel.
Rascals.
Come across old Haggis's cabin.
Ed Hot Carlos. You come dig up Pumpkinhead.
This thing I didn't really like that review at all. Like I'm like, wow, fucking bigot. That's what I think. That's a bigot city folk.
Doug was offended.
That's a city slicker.
Doug was offended.
Speaking of city slickers, there's quite a few in this movie
yeah.
that wreak a whole lot of havoc.
That fucking Corvette should tell you right there.
Dude, that dude.
Guys who drive Corvettes are fucking douchey.
The movie after the little intro scene, and it gets to our main modern day characters.
What is it, 1969 it takes place at the beginning?
57.
57?
57. It
Yeah.
opens in 1957 when Ed Harley's a little boy.
Yeah, and he witnesses some fucked up stuff. But
I like how every time Pumpkinhead comes out, the cicadas come out too.
that's what I was gonna say. You stole my line, bro. Yeah, it's all cicada-y.
I didn't even notice that. I was more.
Are you from Texas?
He's from the city.
Are you
of Texas.
from Texas? Though?
I am.
Well, that's why you didn't hear him, because you fucking hear him every goddamn day. So you kind of drown him out.
He's a city slicker.
A city slicker. You bet you drive a Corvette, don't you?
Like Steve.
So Steve is in this Corvette, and he's driving down a road, and they're talking about going to their cabin, and he's got his best girl Kim in there with him, and he's like, "Bitch, give me a beer." And he's just driving his Corvette with the top down, drinking beer.
Man, I remember when you could do that. Fuck, I miss those days.
You probably shouldn't do that, because then you kill little kids.
No, but back then, they would pull you over and you'd be like, "Is that a beer right there?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, okay."
And then you'd kill a
You
little
just be
kid.
careful. Sudden turns, you'll spill it.
Watch those turns.
I do remember when you could go to Taco Cabana and just get a drive-through margarita like it was nothing. And now you can do that again thanks to COVID.
Everywhere, dude.
I know. It's crazy. This dude Steve, man, you can tell he's a jerk off right from the beginning.
Or he likes
they
getting
really
jerked off.
introduce his character as like a full-blown asshole. Because even she mentioned, she goes, "Why do you always have to carry that rifle around or that gun or whatever?" And he's like, what does he say? He says some line, I can't remember exactly, but he's like, people act up or some bullshit. Like
Yeah, something weird. See, I don't. If it was one of the hillbillies carrying a rifle around, it's probably fine.
Yeah. It's
Whenever it's a city slicker that's drinking and driving a Corvette, you're like, this motherfucker just wants to kill somebody.
So they're laying it out and saying that basically this guy is
A troublemaker.
He's a troublemaker. He's probably done some bad shit, and this is your introduction to.
He has at least a couple of rape charges under his belt.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's very abusive.
Yeah, clearly. Now, this character, his name is Steve or Joel?
That's Joel.
That's Joel.
Joel,
okay.
sorry. Did I say Steve?
I don't know.
Steve,
Maybe.
yeah, Steve is his brother.
Yeah.
Steve is the voice of reason that gets shut down.
I think everybody's a voice of reason except for
Yeah,
Joel. Joel's like the only one that's a piece of shit.
He kind of gets unhinged.
So you get, this thing is set up where there's this Lance Hendrickson's character is a very loving dad.
That's what makes it so
Obviously.
hard, because he's just such a good dad to his kid.
What's interesting is that they never. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they never address the mom story. If there was a mom where she was
No,
crying.
I think that's better. I hate whenever, that's like one of the things that's dumb is whenever she's probably dead. I mean, but like that's
It
just
says
what you
it
assume.
says she's widowed.
Oh, it does say that.
Either that or she put on makeup one day and was like, "I'm going to the city." She
I'm
never
going
came
to the
back.
city folk in a Corvette.
You can fucking run this feed store yourself.
So
Fuck your cucumbers.
that's one of the things I don't like is when a movie is over the top telling
Tells you everything.
You know
have
what?
to
You know what
fucking
movie
explain
did that?
Everything.
You know what movie just did that we just watched is Freaky. They're like, they're sitting there and obviously they're like pictures of her with her dad and all that stuff, and then the mom's like, "Ever since your father." I'm like, dude, you just don't show the dad. Like,
So you like a bit of like ambiguity.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I totally get that.
I mean, they could have later in that movie, Freaky, later on, she says, "My husband passed a year ago." Like, you could have waited instead of showing all these stupid things that are like, "Oh, the audience is dumb. You have to say this right off."
But the audience is dumb nowadays. They're
Yeah,
fucking
well, I think-
stupid. They want
I think-
everything.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like developing a story, I mean, I don't even know. They definitely have to come out and be like smack you in the face with these type of things.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was. I'm sure it was a lot different back in before the 2010s or whatever, before modern like contemporary movie making. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's just.
But I like it too. That's
Yeah.
something that I like in a story where they don't actually give everything. I was trying to remember if they ever talked about it. Since I've only seen this movie a handful of times, I couldn't remember. But
Yeah, they didn't say anything about him that I can remember about the mom. And I mean,
but we're just introduced to Lance as pretty much a rock solid dad.
yeah, and he's like playing around with the kid and teaching him stuff and like he's letting the kid help him like helping him like open the store. My dad
Washing
would have
his
just been
hands.
like, open the fucking store while he's sitting there, watching the golf game. And like,
Ooh, your dad watch golf?
my dad just watched whatever sport was on. It's better than playing with your kids.
Fuck. Yeah. I would probably do the same thing.
So you are not like, you're more like my dad, not like Ed Harley.
Yeah.
So they go into this town and fucking Joel, or they roll up. It's the last stop before they're going to hit their cabin retreat. And Joel, the dickhead's like,
That cabin was
Jeez.
actually used in Friday the 13th Part 2.
Really?
Same cabin.
that's cool. He's like, geez, check out the Coke bottles on this kid.
On Jonathan Rudnicki?
Yeah, and I'm like, dude. And even the other characters are like, he can hear you. Like, they're like, what a fucking dick.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Come on,
I mean,
Gypsy,
the
let's
second-
get out of here. This guy's a douche.
I wish he would have said some shit like that. And they're just like, you kind of like meet the characters and you see like there's some of the girls that have like their, tender heart. There's the brother that's trying to get him not to be a dick. There's the friend who's Chris, who is like, you can tell he doesn't like Chris and his girlfriend. Tracy, you can tell they don't like Joel at all. It's like they're more their friends with Joel's brother Steve. I think it's why they're there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that guy's a dickhead. Like, you literally, like, he comes across as a dickhead just through the whole movie.
Yeah, he's definitely worse than Pumpkinhead.
Yeah. And I mean, Pumpkinhead's got some kills, but Pumpkinhead can't help it. He's a vengeance demon.
Yeah. Well, Joel has one confirmed kill.
Yep.
And if you don't
He
already
does.
know, it's little Jonathan Rudnicki.
Well, fucking Mr. Wallace pulls up with his clan
Oh, yeah.
and
Blossoms in the back of the truck.
Blossom's in the back.
One of them's name is Jimmy Joe.
Well, that TV show Blossom. That's that girl's first acting
Malik-
thing. She's there.
Malik.
Maliki.
No, I don't know.
So one of the kids does something wrong with a ball or something, and they start going, Pumpkinhead, Pumpkinhead, he's gonna eat your ass, or some shit. I don't remember what kind of song it was.
And, yeah.
And the girl
Tracy.
Tracy gets, oh, stop it, just stop it.
You're
I'm like,
scaring him. You're scared.
fucking calm down, chick. You're going on the Appalachians in a cabin and you're scared of a fucking song?
On a side note, before we get too off track here, so I read that Charles Band memoir, and he was saying that the guy who's founded Full Moon Features and all that stuff, and he originally the poster for Ghoulies, like the copy at the bottom said, "Ghoulies, they'll eat your ass."
Yeah, I've actually read that
And
before.
they had to change it.
Hey, Sid, what's up?
I have that rare DVD with Ghoulies 1 and 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ghoulies,
He said,
they'll eat your ass.
fuck yeah. You know why, right? Because of that one scene, which became,
Pop out the toilet.
that one scene became so famous, and it just happens real quick. But
Yeah,
that was
and-
the one
Yeah.
scene that's super famous.
In the book, he talks about that. Like they shot that because of the poster. Like they made the poster. He was saying like that his process was like making the posters first with a title, and then he tried. That's how he sold the movies. The movies were never written. Like he just sold the posters.
Yeah, that's exact same thing that happened with Fright Night.
Oh, okay.
It's on the poster, the girlfriend that turns into a vampire. They show her for literally a couple seconds when she turns around and her mouth is all fucked
But that's
up.
like
Yeah,
one of the
dude,
best
that's one of the
scenes,
best scenes.
Well, they did that as an
AD&D.
after. They did that after, and they were like, let's put it on the movie poster. Because that was, it's just, they shot it after the filming was done. They're like, we need something else.
That's honestly though, like for those lower budget movies, like that's a genius marketing plan. Like
Yeah,
they sell the posters, and then we're like, we'll figure it out. Like once
Yeah.
this shit sells.
Yeah, I read that same thing, and that's what I thought was funny that, they did a poster like that, and then they were like, and I think they actually did a screening for the studio or for whoever, the executives and a test audience. They were like, where's the ghoulie that comes out of the toilet? Like, it's on the poster.
Yeah. Okay.
And so they literally had to go do a reshoot just to add that in because, I mean, it fucking said ghoulies, they'll eat your ass. Oh, but that was on the second one, right? Or was that on the first one?
Okay, so it was on the original before he even had the movie written.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Which would have been,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously in that environment you couldn't have that listed, but fuck, I mean, it would be amazing to have a poster that says that.
Maybe we should just make one.
Yeah.
And just like recreate it.
Shocks.
That'd be good.
I have an original movie poster of Weird Science.
Oh, really?
Original.
I
I need to get that
That's
thing
cool.
framed. It's gonna fuck
Yeah.
up.
I have an original one sheet of The Dead Zone, and then Madhouse, and then I have a repressed one of House of Wax in 3D.
My prized possession is my thing poster.
Yeah, that one's pretty rad.
So on this journey we're on here with Ed Harley and his family, Mr. Wallace shows up, like you're saying, and he's there to pick up his weekly groceries.
And his feed.
Yeah.
And he said,
And his feet.
and
I
yeah,
need that feed, Ed Harley.
yeah, Ed goes, that'll do it. And he goes, that my feed. And he's like, oh shoot, I left it up at the house. and so he's like, that's Buck Flower. Buck Flower is an awesome 80s actor.
He said this role he was so happy to take this role because usually he just plays a drunk.
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
But he's also in
That's
like,
such a good drunk though.
he's in like nearly every John Carpenter movie.
Playing
he's
what?
just,
Playing what?
a homeless person or a
drunk.
drunk?
Homeless
And
drunk.
was he in Prince of Darkness? Because that's, I mean, obviously has a big
Probably one of those homeless
population.
people. I
Probably.
don't know. But so he takes off. He's just like, he tells little William, he's like, hey, mind the store. I gotta go up back to the house, and then when I come back, we're gonna take a ride. Fucking leaves like a 5-year-old in charge of a grocery store.
Which is crazy because doesn't he
That
say...
5-year-old is considered to be an 18-year-old. He grew up in the Appalachians,
Dude.
eating
Did you see those
almonds.
glasses? Yeah.
eating all these almonds.
All
the
I'm
country
saying
store.
is that
Dude, I want to go to a
that's
little country
neglect.
store like that.
Yeah.
They probably have those. They probably have those toys, the wood ones, where you go like that, squeeze them together, and the little trapeze guy flips.
Yeah, there's one of those down.
Oh yeah, the one that's like I know what you're talking about.
There's one of those down on Military. It's called Country Crocker or
Cracker Bean.
Cracker Barrel. The Cracker Barrel.
Oh, the Cracker Barrel.
Dude, I need to go because the fucking root beer hard candies and the cherry hard candies and the lemon hard candies. I'm 51, dude. I need my hard candies. And I got to carry a bag full of them to give to little kids on the bus.
Hard candies.
Would you like a hard candy, Jimmy?
Yeah, my
choke on it.
My grandpa has this crystal bowl in his house.
What's gross,
covered,
Sid?
And I opened it up and it's just Hall's cough drops.
It looks like it's gonna be candy and then it's Hall.
I was like, oh okay.
Hey Hazel.
Like, oh, man, it's like, gotta clear my throat. All the time.
So this fucking abusive father.
He's not a dude.
Oh, sorry.
Here's the thing.
This neglective father.
Here's the thing, though. He says like I thought he
says stay right here.
For some reason in my head, I imagine him saying to the Buck Wallace's character that he's like, what if doesn't he say like it's in my truck? He's like, what if I deliver it to your house?
He says I left it at the house, and he says, what if I deliver it to you? And like,
so the setup is they did that only to keep the kid there so he would die that way.
Yeah,
like because in reality you would really just be like, all right, we're just gonna go do this thing.
Yeah, let's shut the store down.
Yeah.
These dudes right here are like about to start riding motorcycles, and
exactly.
They've already bought everything.
What's the kid's
from
name
me.
again?
The actor's
No. What do you call him?
his name's Billy.
I know what you were calling him though.
No, Billy Harley, but we like to call him Little Jonathan Rednecky around here.
I like to call him William.
Willow.
Yeah, and then when I noticed some small little like stupid, thing that caught my eye when they're riding their dirt bikes. Like it's 88 and 44 because of like the year it came out, and I guess it's just like half of that, so it's 88 and 44. Thought it was like a weird connection. But
see, you know what I noticed? I noticed that
he's a
Joel
douchebag?
was riding a CR125 Honda, and his brother was riding a KX125, a Kawasaki.
He was giving it too much gas.
And they also said, I grew up riding motorcycles, and I had one of each of those motorcycles. Mm-hmm. But I also noticed that when he's like riding his motorcycle, he like barely jumps over this hill and like kind of like does this little like foot kick thing. And they're like, and Tracy's like, he's a jerk. And then Chris says, yeah, but he's a talented jerk. And she's like, no, he's just a regular jerk. I agree with her because like he wasn't doing anything cool. He was just riding his motorcycle.
It would have been better if he was like, he's a poser.
Yeah, he's a fucking poser, bro.
I bet you he's gonna kill that kid.
Yeah.
That's what they should have said.
He's like, he's probably gonna kill somebody today.
And I mean, it was an accident.
Fucking gypsy, man.
Well, he's just catching. He was a casualty of big air. That's it.
Yeah. He's a casualty of the 80s.
Yeah, casualty of big air.
They should have made that a sport for the X Games, running over kids.
Running over kids.
They're trying to dodge them.
Try to clear the little child.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So Gypsy gets all crazy and takes off, and there goes little fucking Buttfucky, or what's his name?
Yeah, Jonathan Rednecky.
Yeah, he fucking takes off after Gypsy.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you hear him say, the kid, the boy.
His glasses are so thick he couldn't see that motorcycle coming.
What's really weird
His
is like...
His glasses were so thick he almost caught the fucking field on fire.
He's like barely running here. And these adults are going...
Falling over.
Kid! Like... They can't. 3 adults can't catch a fucking little kid.
Dude, he's from the Appalachians, dude. He wasn't even wearing any shoes. He was fucking all barefoot and knuckling that fucking ground.
Overalls.
Well, first Steven comes flying over the hill, and he sees him. He's like, Rex. You know, he moves. He like, he totally eats shit, so he doesn't run over the kid. And then Joel comes flying over the hill. And barely touches that little bitch.
No,
he
like, hit it pretty hard.
He's just kind of like, poop. He just kind of spins around a little bit.
The kill itself is, I think...
It cracked his fucking ribs.
In my opinion, I feel like, obviously there's, it's kind of...
Yo.
A faux pas to kill a kid in a movie, but I feel like they try to do it
Fuck no.
In a lighthearted way back then, you know? Like they didn't. It wasn't brutal. It wasn't like anything gory or anything like that. It was like very like, did he die? And the only way that you know that he actually does die is like 3 seconds pass after he gets hit, and the girl goes, "He's cold." Like he's just already dead
but
and
no,
cold.
he's not dead yet because
But he's getting there.
But I feel like it's implied when she says
that he's gonna die.
Yeah, because she's like, he's cold.
Yeah, because he dies in his dad's arms in the house.
But really, she was just referring to that big air that Steve just caught.
He's
Or
like,
Joel just
fuck,
caught.
that was fresh and cold.
She's like, he's ice cold.
That bitch is ice cold. Damn, he did a fucking toss up air to kid face.
Yeah, and he killed someone.
Yeah, so Ed comes back.
Well, first, fucking
Oh
Joel
yeah, he
just
gets all
takes
fucking
off.
crazy. I've been drinking. They're gonna massacre me or they're gonna
Yeah.
fuck me in prison.
Yeah. He's like,
My butthole's
he's
gonna
they're
get
gonna
destroyed.
He says they're gonna give me the chair.
Yeah, he said something like that.
I'm like, bitch, you had half of a fucking Miller Lite.
Yeah,
How do you know?
and he's
I bet
got
he
a
was drinking.
concealed handgun.
He does?
Yeah, or we had it in the car at least. Yeah,
Man, this guy's crazy.
he's a wild guy.
He's a wild man.
Guys like that shoot up schools.
I will say this though, Steve, his brother, was hands down the worst actor in the movie. Not only that, I think Gypsy's a better actor than Steve.
He went on to come out in quite a few movies, though.
He was in a few like he was in Slumber Party Massacre 2, I think, and then
Is that Use a Drill 2 as well?
Is it what?
Is that a drill murderer?
I don't remember.
I haven't
It's been
seen that.
so long since I've seen it. I just remember the first one was The Drill. Yeah. And then he's in another like horror movie that I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know he's in the second Slumber Party Massacre.
Yeah, he's
Look, your handy dandy scarecrow movie guy.
when you look up these
Too big.
whenever you look up this movie, it's one of those, it's like most horror movies. Everything has like right around a 5 on IMDb, and people either hate them or they love them. And I love this movie, but I can also agree that it has some bad acting. But a lot of people are like, this is the worst acting I've ever seen.
Lance Henriksen kills it.
Dude, he's
kills
it.
Amazing. Honestly, I love like there's like a meme about it, but I give like my favorite shitty movies like 4 and 5 stars on Letterboxd. I don't give a shit.
On what?
Letterboxd?
I don't know what that is. Am I late to the party?
No, you're not late to the party.
You just gotta join in. It's hard to use, man.
It is kind of weird. Yeah. It's
I collect.
Yeah, but this is like a social media.
I don't care, Doug.
It's like Facebook for movies.
My face.
my face.
And
I'll get frustrated and throw my phone.
Ghoulies, they'll eat your ass.
so that dude took off,
Hey,
man.
it is what it is.
That dude took off, and he's just like, fuck it. His girlfriend's like,
Peels out his vet.
dude, first he throws his girlfriend to the ground because she didn't want to get in the car. He's like, get in the car, and throws her, like fucking throws her to the ground.
Classic 80s.
And like the brother tries to go over and like kind of stop me, throws him off. I mean, fucking dude, this guy's a piece of shit. And he takes off.
Yeah.
And then the other guys
Take off to go get help.
Steve is like, you guys go to the cabin. How far is the cabin? And Chris knows where the cabin is, so
Go use the phone.
they're going up there. They're going to go try to use the phone. And
Because the store only has a...
Yeah.
What do you
yeah,
call it?
and
We call that Morse code.
No, what's it really called?
Morse code.
It's
Telegram.
Morse code, telegram.
Telegram.
But they use Morse code for the telegram.
We were
It is what it is.
We were both half right.
And
I call it...
yeah, Steve stays there and is trying to like comfort this dying child.
Poking him with a stick.
He's like, "Are you awake? Do something." And
I think he's alive. When I poke him in the ribs, his little foot kicks.
and so Lance Ed Harley comes back. And
That
it's just
fucking
like,
look, dude. That look he
dude.
gives him.
He like says something like, we try to get help or what happened, you know, and Steve's like, it was an accident or something. Dude, he just turns around like
Yeah, that's a
Fucking, I'm gonna murder your ass
He's gonna eat his ass.
yeah
like a ghoulie. And
redneck style.
yeah, man, rough.
So Ed takes off. Steve's like, I don't know what to do. Right? That was Steve.
He
right?
also, which is such a like in the story, he puts him in the car and then just takes him home. I guess I'm assuming that any sort of hospital would have been too far because they're so out in the country.
There ain't no fucking hospitals around there.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, like even where's the goddamn like general city doctor? You know what I mean? Like
They weren't even in a goddamn town.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you, in that situation, you
Take him to the vet. There's probably a fucking vet around there somewhere.
I mean, I don't
Before a
think
real doctor.
he might not have.
Mr.
Mr.
Wallace.
Monkey.
Mr. Wallace was the town vet. Also.
He might not have thought that he was as bad as he was, because he takes him in and he's starting to lay him in bed and he's kind of like saying stuff to him, and then I think Billy says like "Dad" or something like that, and then his fucking head just goes back. He's dead. He
Fucking
dead.
sad, bro. I cry every single time.
Yeah, I think approaching this, like seeing it again, it definitely it got me in the feels.
Yeah, I think it's because
Both your feelers.
Lance Hendrickson plays this character so well.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
mean,
crazy watching interviews with him about this movie and about like the story he's telling about the washing the hands and stuff. That's a real story from his childhood.
The grandma, with
Like his
soft
grandma,
hands.
you know, yeah, that's a real story. He like went and like found those teeth himself to like make himself look more redneck.
He
went,
got
like,
his own
studied-
wardrobe?
Yeah, he like went and studied
It's
how.
incredible. I mean,
Dude.
it shows. I mean, that kind of dedication shows in the acting. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, it's his movie. I mean,
yeah.
other than the fact that you have an insanely cool like Pumpkinhead monster suit, like
Dude.
and the effects and everything, like Lance
Literally-
steals the show.
Literally, the monster in this movie is some of the best. For the time, especially like one
All
of the
shot on
best.
camera.
Yeah,
It was all in frame.
Yeah, it's all it's
I mean
it's incredible.
Yeah, the fact that they made it so it can change expressions while the guy's wearing the suit, like it didn't have to be a separate, you know, I mean it's pretty incredible. The all this was the whole movie, which we haven't said yet, was done by Stan Winston, who is
He was so busy directing, he really didn't have anything to do with the makeup. He left it in charge of the people.
yeah, I mean it was all his. It was
They
all
went
his.
to him to show him like designs, and for them to be like, this looks good, but I would add this, and that was it. Like,
The
they
only-
did
the only thing
everything else.
The only thing I read was that when they were designing it, he just didn't want it to be an actual Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, yeah. They actually, some of the first drawings were a pumpkin head, and it had nothing. He's named Pumpkinhead because he's born out of a pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Tom Woodruff Jr., who wore the suit, also, I think he did the majority of the designing of it too. So that was cool. But yeah, that's good. But yeah, so the kids run away. Really, it's Joel. Joel's actually trying to run away. He doesn't want to fucking be there. He's like,
They get to the cabin and he rips everything out of the wall, the phones. He doesn't
yeah.
want anything to do with it.
Tracy tries to call the cops or an ambulance or something. He rips a fucking phone.
Then he
out of the
locks
wall.
him in the fucking restroom
Yeah.
or the fucking some room.
Yeah.
But this next scene is what got Lance to get on board with this movie. He read this part and he was like, I'm going to do it. When he's in the truck and little Billy fucking ass raper gets up and says, "What are you doing, Dad?" And then when he turns around, he's laying back down. That one script, when he read that, he was like, I'm going to
The
do this
scene where
movie.
he imagines him dead,
Yeah,
where
he's
you
dead
mad-
in the truck.
but then he's
And
up, but
he
it's a
he
dead
sits
version
up.
of him, right?
And and he goes, "What are you doing, Dad?"
Because he already planned, like, I'm about to go get some revenge.
Yeah,
And-
but that one line in the script, he was like, "I want to do it."
So the basis of like him reading that's what really sold him on the
Yeah,
script.
and I think that's cool. Like that was that's sad too.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So he winds up going to Wallace's house.
Yes.
Dude, he goes to the local shanty town,
Yeah, the
which was crazy looking. If you
Dude,
look
that
at
shit's
set.
badass.
The
Dude, I
hillbilly
would
hostel?
love to fucking.
Yeah, dude.
yeah, the fucking
I would love to fucking.
that redneck Riviera.
That was cool too. I saw an interview with the set designer, and she was like, "We found this, this kind of ravine area, and just They built like the fronts, the sides, and front of the houses to make them look 3D, and also did like the perspective where they made them smaller, as they went back. So like when you're looking at it, it looks like it goes back far." And they're
Yeah, the budget on this thing was only $3 million, and they got all the makeup effects done, all this done.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And the reason they went so far is because Stan Winston, he dealt in makeup, so he knew the cheapest way to do everything makeup wise.
Yeah, hire your own guys that work for you.
Did you see that Stan Winston wrote you back?
No?
Yeah.
His ghost?
No, the Stan Winston school, they wrote me back.
That's cool. No, I didn't see that.
They said, please leave us alone. We don't care about your shitty stream.
We don't care if you eat our ass.
No, they said, thank you for mentioning us or some shit like that. And they
that's
hearted
cool.
it. And then I mentioned it too, and they hearted my story.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's so awesome that the Stan Winston's legacy is still alive with the school. Dude, they do some badass shit.
It's only $300 and some a year to go to their online school.
Do you follow them on? You don't have a Facebook, do you?
I don't ever use it.
I'm telling Doug, I use Facebook just for. That's how I find out about all the new horror movies coming out. I follow all these horror pages, and I follow the Stan Winston. And sometimes they'll be like, "Click here, and you'll get a free lesson, and they'll teach you this is how you make a fake hand, and they'll show you exactly what to do."
Yeah,
Holy
they do
shit.
some cool stuff.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, Mr. Monkey, we're talking about your hometown, Smithville Shanties.
The Smithville Shanties.
Oh, we're in the creek.
So they're like wanting to help this kid. They're like, what if he's hurt, or what if he's,
Yeah, they want to make sure
whatever.
that he's okay
and
because they didn't leave him in a good condition.
and Joel's like fucking hits the dude hits Chris over the back of the fucking head. No, yeah, Chris over the back of the head with a log, and locks him in a closet. And then his brother shows up, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I didn't want to say anything, but I was involved in an accident." Or I think his girlfriend says it. He was involved in an accident a few weeks back where he'd been drinking and driving, and a girl was hurt. I'm like, bitch, you're a fucking serial piece of shit.
Real quick, the brother,
real bad.
the terrible actor, he wasn't the same guy that was in the
Little
Karate
rascal.
Kid.
Steve?
The blonde guy, the little one. He looks so familiar. It looks like he would have been in the Karate Kid movie.
What about the little kid? Did Billy go down to anything else? Was he like?
Man, I don't know. I think he might have done a few more things, but not anything like crazy.
The
big, right?
kid that was all yeah and Karate Kid.
I don't know.
You don't remember that part?
No, I don't know if that's him or not.
It kind of looks. I mean, I don't know. It could be totally wrong, but
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know if he went on to go to do anything else after. They probably saw like those glasses and were like, too big.
no, not the little kid. The brother.
Stevie.
Stevie.
Stretch.
No, I doubt it because he doesn't.
Scratch. Okay.
I don't think so because his name's not highlighted where you can click on it and see his other movies.
Yeah.
That's how you know if you've gone far.
You gotta get your IMDb Pro. Now we're on IMDb. I'm gonna add you. Are you on IMDb? You should be. I'll add you. I'll put episode 40,
Alright.
whatever this is.
Well, but I gotta remember, I gotta get Facebook and then IMDb after this.
Don't get Facebook. It just makes you miserable.
No, I'm
You'll be
telling
like,
you, I'll
you'll
send
be
you,
like,
dude.
oh,
You should
look
see.
how cool.
I ain't gonna be getting on the Facebook.
You'll be like, oh, look how cool this horror show is. But then that's like 1 out of every 10 things.
You know why Doug
the
says
other
that?
9
Because
are.
Doug would bitch about TikToks, and now when you listen to him outside, we can hear him outside when he goes outside to use the phone. He's out there fucking watching TikTok videos.
Yeah, bro.
You're on the TikTok?
Well, yeah.
And I'm like,
But I
talking
have
about it's so stupid, but yet there he is watching TikToks.
I have a VPN, so
And I'm
my TikTok thinks that I'm in Thailand, so I see Thailand stuff.
Oh, okay.
All the lady boys.
Yeah, I mean, wait, did I say Thailand? I didn't mean Thailand.
Yeah, you did.
Well,
No, I
know
don't
that
fucking
there's, like,
use any of that shit.
I know that there's like a really extreme like dark side to TikTok that you can somehow
I got on TikTok, but then I was like, fuck that. I got off.
get in your algorithm, and you can.
After you told me what the TikToks in China, they're all these kids doing all this badass stuff.
Math and
Their TikToks have to do with math and solving problems, and then our TikToks are chicks shaking their titties.
Yeah,
And I'm
that
like,
sounds
it's
about right.
fucking dumb. Like,
Those are my favorite movies.
yeah, movies, not TikToks.
TikTok is just a small movie, right?
yeah, it is. I mean, basically, it's the small filmmakers. They
have everybody's bank info now.
Well, it's a matter of time, right?
Matter of time.
I don't like Facebook because if you're on Facebook, you're like, oh, that was cool about one thing. That's like 1 out of 10 transactions. And the other 9 are like, look at this fucking asshole. Or, God, look what this fucker just said. And like, people just seem miserable.
I delete
shit.
Whenever I see anybody post anything stupid, I delete them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're stupid.
Not in my feed.
Not in my feed. Not in my feed.
I just don't like any of that stuff. It's too invasive.
Ghoulies.
I'm too old for it.
Ghoulies. They'll eat your ass.
They'll eat your ass.
I miss MySpace. The original MySpace.
Fuck
Well-
yeah. Remember when you would take down somebody off your top 8? They'd fucking have a fit. Why'd you fucking take me down, bro?
Man.
You remember that?
Yeah, I mean, they made that movie Unfriended. That was terrible.
I heard that was good.
I
Terrible.
haven't seen it.
It's terrible they made it.
Speaking of unfriended, everyone should have unfriended Joel at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, he would not have a very big circle on his intranets if it was around.
I can't believe his chick was still with him. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, you could
Joel's
tell she
body
liked
count.
It's
abuse.
probably that dong, dude. He probably has a huge ass dong.
You could tell
Like
she.
Maniac?
Yeah. You could tell she liked abuse. She looked like she had that feathered hair. She was like, she thought she was going to change him.
It was a different time, you know. You could smack him around then.
I know. Now you can't do shit.
Can't drink and drive.
You
Can't
can't.
drink and drive. You can't have your gun. Speaking of which,
You can have your gun. I got one right here.
Sorry, gun and drive with your beer, sort of. But no.
Oh yeah, you can't have a beer and gun.
Thinking about it now, Karen Central. No,
Sid's lost. You need help? Where you at?
We should get back to talking about stuff.
yeah, we've. It's a bit
Tangent.
long-winded here, but no.
Yeah, what happens next?
I was
Oh,
thinking.
what were we going to say?
It foreshadows his death because the gun is brought up like multiple times, and that's ultimately how he.
That
ends up
fucking
dying.
sick rifle.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I remember seeing that scene, and Pumpkinhead has the gun, and I was like, "Holy shit, he's gonna use a gun!"
Yeah.
There's no way he could get his giant finger into like he'd have to like use his thumb or like something.
Yeah.
Did y'all
Get that trigger.
ever see Pumpkinhead 2 or 3?
No,
Yeah, Hell Wings or
I
what they
have
call
not
it.
seen
The
them.
flying
and
Pumpkinhead?
I really, really wish I would have done that before I came here, but I didn't. I didn't do it.
It's not good. The first one's the only one I
The-
like.
Did you
But there's 4, right?
Did you see the original movie poster for the actual movie before they changed it to that terrible fucking thing they put out?
You're talking about the Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, the actual. So it has Pumpkinhead's hands. It's an amazing artwork. It's real dark, and it just has Pumpkinhead's hands grabbing a pumpkin, like squeezing it. Dude, that thing is so sick, and they changed it. It was fucking terrible. It's Pumpkinhead with the girl carving that upside down cross in her forehead.
Oh yeah, at the
Oh.
church or
But-
whatever.
The way that angle is, his hand looks all fucked up. Like
Yeah.
it looks dumb.
Like a strong hand.
And that's the fucking
Yeah.
that's what they used.
Really?
And in my DVD cover, has Ed Harley on the front with the flamethrower.
Yeah, I mean that's how. Yeah, that's.
And it's
also
terrible.
a really cool way to. Yeah,
It's fucking terrible. And I'm like, how the fuck are you gonna go from that sick ass poster to that shit that they put out?
and this was like it wasn't a variant of a different like country release or anything. Like
No,
that? It was
I mean
just
they
something
didn't.
that They changed.
Yeah, they changed it. They never
Really?
used it. You can find it online, and it's so fucking cool.
Yeah, I'd like to check it out at some point.
The
I gotta get MySpace or Facebook and then check that out.
so simultaneously with them being at the cabin
Yeah.
and all them fighting each other internally, Ed is driving up to see Mr. Wallace. What we talked about the shantytown, but he goes and he asks Mr. Wallace, "Folks around here talk about a thing that this woman can help you and
That's
get
going to
revenge."
send you straight to hell.
And
Ed Harley.
yeah, he warns him against it. Like, don't do it. You don't want to do it.
He's basically trying to get some good old redneck revenge.
Yeah, and so he turns him away. Mr. Wallace turns him away, but then Mr. Wallace's kid
little smart
runs
ass
up to
fucking
him.
Jim Galecki.
Runs up to him while he's in his car and is like, "I know who you're looking for," and he basically drives him all the way there. I mean, he gets out at a certain spot.
He asked for that 20 spot.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
gonna fucking feed him for months, dude.
Yeah,
He gave him a tenner, actually.
I thought it was a 20. I could have swore it was a
He
20.
gave him a tenner, I swear.
No, I'm gonna have to fucking.
Doug would know. He's seen it how many times?
he asked for. I think he offers him. No, he asked for a certain amount, and then he gives him more. I think it's $10.
I think it is.
Fuck,
I think it's
I'm gonna have to
$10.
look again. I could have swore I saw 20, but my eyesight not too good lately.
Need them Jonathan Rednecky glasses.
Yeah.
So he takes him to meet Haggis, who is the local witch,
Yeah.
because they have those in small towns like Smithville.
Man, that
No-
shit, that makeup's cool, man. It took.
That makes sense. That's the town doctor now.
Yeah, she's the witch doctor.
She's the doctor. Holy shit. This all fucking makes sense now.
And he's like, "Can you bring my boy back?" And he's like, "Nope,
You
I
don't
can't
want
do
none
that."
of this, Ed Harley.
You sound just like her.
It's really good.
That's like pretty
I wish
good.
we
It
had-
actually
we
is
should
the
pull
same lady that
Pull
did
up
the
that
voice.
scene with the script.
It's the same lady that did the voice on
Sling Blade?
Monster Inc. We're always watching.
Haggis.
Yeah, and Haggis is like, there's a price to pay, all this bullshit.
And it's all these
Witchy,
coins.
witchy.
And you know,
Now, in order to summon Pumpkinhead, what you have to do is you have to give some tokens to the witch.
But I don't even think, I think she says there's a price to pay, and he just starts throwing money around, and she's not
he
like,
actually got, those were real coins. And he, what's his name? Lance went and found all these coins at pawn shops.
but
And
like,
the dedication here,
And
like, from
when he
Lance
puts them-
Henriksen, is
Yeah, when he puts them on that,
insane. And it shows.
when he puts them on that plate or that bowl and they fall,
Yeah, with fucking there's tarantulas on
that
that plate.
those fucking things fell to the wood floor and they're still out there. to
I
this
doubt
day.
they're still there.
I mean,
Somebody
it's
went
probably-
and got them. Somebody
Yeah.
went and got that shit.
They're chocolate coins.
But
No, they were
he's not, she's not talking about there's a price to pay, throw your money at me. She's like, there's a price to pay, and we find that out later.
Pumpkinhead's gonna eat your ass.
And-
Ed Harley.
And she asks him if he's ever heard of Razorback Holla.
Yeah,
You heard
and-
of Razorback Holla?
when she tells him
No,
the
she
story,
said, "Have you ever heard of Razorback? Holla,
yeah,
holla."
and we find out basically that Razorback Hollow is where they bury all the inbred
Holla.
rednecks.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like where they bury.
She
they-
says it basically. She doesn't say inbreds, but she says something along the lines of like
their
she's-
kin they're ashamed of.
Yeah, she's like they gonna bury their kin they're ashamed of up there.
So you, as a
Yeah.
city slicker, are like, oh, it must be fucking inbreds.
Yeah,
Me,
exactly.
as a country boy, I'm like, oh, that's probably like the brother that like stole from the mom.
Wow, yeah,
And so he didn't get a good burial. He got buried in the fucking pumpkin patch.
man, two different minds,
Yeah, one of us
but that's why we're here.
grew up in the holler, and one of us grew up in the city.
One of us grew up by the creek.
Dude, I love
What
going
would
to
I?
the creek.
I
The other
grew
one
up.
grew up by the strip.
I grew up in a trailer park. What would that make me?
Well, it depends. Was it in the city or in the country?
Yeah, it depends on where it's.
Was it in Poteet?
It was far south side.
Get like past 1604 far side?
No, but like there was fields.
Okay, yeah, you're a country boy.
Yeah. Yes. I would say, yeah, technically.
I mean, for you, wait, you had to shoot wild dogs on your property, right?
No, that was when I lived on Poteet.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
you
this
were
was
still
after.
you were still young at that point, right? Yeah, that's redneck.
That's pretty good. Night.
Fuck yeah. I know how to.
Yours is
fucking-
more like
I
a
can-
burnt umber.
I know how to skin a cat. Not a cat, but a catfish. If you ever go catfishing, I'll fucking.
Carlos
I can
boy
fillet
can't
'em.
survive.
Yeah.
A Carlos boy. Oh, hey, me and Mr. Monkey had the same thought.
Hell yeah, man! I can make a fire.
Yeah.
Rub two sticks together, or does it two? Is it two penises?
You need a piece of hardwood and a piece of softwood.
Two penises together, hard penises, causes friction.
Yeah. Two redneck penises.
One hard,
Burning-
one soft. Rub them together.
Burning
Fire starts.
foreskins. Isn't that the name of a band? Punk band?
Burning foreskins?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, it should be. It's the name of my band now.
Do it. Burning foreskins. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so he Haggis tells him that there's a
Go
price
out
to pay.
there. You'll know which one it is.
Bring it back to me.
Also, yeah, it's the most inconvenient grave ever to get to. It's
Yeah.
like 6 feet off the ground.
What
It's like
what
an
would that
island.
be?
What do you mean?
Like, what was that?
It was like a hill that was someone
No,
dug
it's not.
around.
It was
It
a
looked like a
plateau.
giant
It was a mini.
plateau.
It was a mini
It
plateau.
looked like a giant toadstool. That's
Yeah.
what it reminded me
It was a
of.
mini plateau inside
Okay,
a pumpkin
what the
patch,
fuck is a toadstool?
like a mushroom.
Oh,
Like
okay.
a giant mushroom.
It's just like a different way to say a mushroom, like say mushroom.
They're
Or
gross
is it
looking.
shaped like a mushroom?
It's a gross looking mushroom.
Okay. A what? A toadstool.
Toadstool.
I think that's what's in. That's
I
technical.
was just asking because we have country boys here, so I figured.
I think
they'd let a
technic-
city slicker know what a toadstool is.
I think technically a toadstool is what's in Mario Brothers.
Yeah, giant mushrooms.
I always hear it.
That's what I thought it looked like. That's what I always assumed it was. I mean, that's what I would like to think he was buried in a fucking giant mushroom.
And I think that we'll just go with that. He was in a toadstool,
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Makes it even more creepier.
and you find out that Pumpkinhead is kind of like,
A little baby.
he's a little baby, and all he needs is a little blood to grow.
Yeah.
Kind of
It's
like
his
this
blood, right?
Little, yeah, you need the summoner.
The
I don't know if we're getting
summoner.
off track, but yeah.
Yeah. So he digs up this little baby, and
Sexy baby.
takes it back to the witch, and she like cuts his hand and drips it into a bowl. Then she goes over to the little dead boy and cuts his hand and drips that into the bowl. And
And then like pours it in his mouth, right? And instantly, like right when it hits his mouth, his
Yeah.
little fucking hand
yeah,
cracks open.
he starts turning into little Pumpkinhead. And
Which that whole scene in itself is a really cool, like almost, I guess in a way, a transformation scene. I guess.
yeah, well,
But it's really well done.
as soon as Pumpkinhead moves, you see Ed Harley's like kind of like, whoa, what the fuck, like.
Which I didn't. I remember seeing that, and I didn't get it till the end. That's actually it's I guess it's him.
It's him. It's
Yeah.
his vengeance.
It's his vengeance. I didn't get that until the
Yeah.
end, but watching it, like more recently, I was like, holy shit, okay, everything makes way more sense now.
Yeah, yeah. And so he leaves, goes home. Nothing's wrong. He's just at home cleaning his shotgun. The kids are
As you do.
held up in the cabin, and they're thinking, well, the young adults, they're thinking, Joel's just sitting by the window with a gun because they think the rednecks are going to come after him because, I don't know why they didn't just leave and go back to the city. Nobody knew who they were. But he's kind of sitting there, and they're like, he's probably okay, he's probably okay. His dad got him, all this stuff. They don't know he's dead. And then one of them, Tracy, is sitting there like doing dishes or something, and we see like Pumpkinhead walk by the window outside, and they haven't seen her yet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's some fucked up stuff. It gets pretty fucked up pretty fast, because Pumpkinhead's like, he's not there to mess around. He's like,
Pumpkinhead is strictly business. And
Yeah.
you learn that pretty fucking fast.
Yeah,
in this movie.
and
He had
the little
triplicates of his duplicates paperwork. Like he was there for business.
yeah, because Steve, him and his girlfriend's like fucking checked out. Maggie, she's like out there all like, oh, because they killed a little boy, oh, or
Huh?
her little boy,
What was she?
oh. And he's like,
Busted a nut.
telling her like, you need to come back to me. Everything's gonna be okay. And he like shows her cross and is like, come back to me. Like everything's gonna be okay. And she's like,
Which is such a strange scene too.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that and being like, "What?"
yeah. And but what's awesome is she snaps too. Like she comes out of it for a second. She's like, Steve, and instantly, fucking this giant hand. It's like goes all the way around and grips down here.
He got the old,
Fucking yanks him up into a tree.
pumpkin dunking.
Yeah, he got palmed.
He did.
They don't show
That's
it, but
Shaq
supposedly he cornholed each and every one of them to death.
Yeah, Pumpkinhead. He'll eat your ass.
The thing is, like,
He's been doing it for
Oh my
4
God.
movies.
He's been doing it for 400
the
million
next
years.
one's called Blood Wings, Red Wings.
Oh.
He'll eat your haggis.
So she goes running in, and she's like, I don't know what the fuck she's like saying.
Pumpkinhead killed him.
And
I mean, she doesn't know.
and so they like go back outside, and
Some
and,
crazy redneck with long arms and long
Yeah, she
legs.
probably at this point like pretty much thinks that it's just some inbred, crazy backwoods redneck.
yeah.
That's what I would.
And I
Because they
can't
be
remember-
looking like that sometimes.
sometimes they be
How,
looking like
how,
that.
how does he kill Steve? That's the first kill, because he grabs him and takes him up on the roof.
So yeah, he grabs him. I don't know exactly how he kills him, but yeah, when he's reintroduced is when they run out of the cabin and he flips.
Right.
jump scare where he flips
Yeah.
down.
He flips down, and so
Cornhold.
his girlfriend,
Boom, cornhold.
his girlfriend runs up to like see him, and she gets grabbed by the head and pulled up, gone.
Which is such a cool like.
And then at the same time, Ed Harley's having fucking crazy flashbacks.
Yeah,
While
he's
doing
seeing it.
simultaneous.
He can
Yeah.
see everything.
Yeah,
This would have been a cool like Brian De Palma split
Yeah.
screen.
yeah.
Would have done this.
And the cool thing is, like, I guess this girl's really religious, and Pumpkinhead throws her on the ground and takes his like nail and like carves a cross into her forehead, like all the way
Oh,
down
yeah.
it.
Wait, is that the one he drops from the tree? I can't remember. That's another.
That's the next one.
That's the brunette, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he that scene, the actress that played her was saying that she like felt like it was really sacrilegious and like it kind of freaked her out. That's the one scene that freaked her out, was
'cause
getting the
but
cross.
She was actually really religious.
No, but
Oh,
it
she
but
just
I
felt
mean
it.
religious enough that it like
Yeah.
that it kind of freaked her out, to be like, "Oh, your God can't help you. I'm a demon,"
That's
And
pretty fucked up.
and the next part, so they all run back into the house, and dude, the next part I love. He takes Maggie's head, and he's like,
puts it against the glass.
and it puts it against the glass and's making it move and stuff, and it's all.
That's probably one of the creepier like scenes.
You know, it wasn't Haggis and Pumpkinhead. They weren't supposed to be that evil.
Really?
But Stan Winston was like, "No, this is my movie. I want him evil,
Yeah.
like super evil. He's a fucking demon."
But
Yeah,
he's.
yeah.
What do you mean they weren't supposed to be that evil?
They weren't supposed to look
Like, they
that
weren't-
evil or act that evil.
That had to have been something like maybe they like whenever they do like the dailies or whatever. Like the studio was like, you gotta like make this
And-
crazy.
And they had went to him and told him or asked him, "Hey, we want you to do the makeup." He goes, "The only way I'll do this makeup is if I get to direct the movie." Well, when they said okay,
Oh, you're saying the studio originally didn't intend it to be that evil?
yeah, that evil.
Okay,
It wasn't supposed
okay.
to be that evil.
Oh, okay, fuck, okay.
So I think that's cool that he wanted it
Yeah.
more evil.
I mean, it
Like they said he was so. Did you read about that? They said he was so fucking nice working
Yeah.
with.
Yeah, he said he was
People
like a
would be
great
stressed
director, and
People would be so stressed out, and he'd be like, "It's okay, man. It's gonna be all right."
yeah.
yeah, I can't imagine it kind of made more calm. I can't imagine what it would have been like. I guess it would have made
And being
Lance
it's
Henriksen's character more like the evil one, if you will, or something. Maybe like he would have done more of the actual physical killing than maybe I don't know. That seems strange. Like to not have the monster, and even
yeah,
I can see them
and
not
they
having-
made sure to mention it was Pumpkinhead and Haggis. They weren't supposed to look.
I
Yeah.
can see Haggis
And
not
act.
being crazy or like as evil as you would, but even the Pumpkinhead character, I can't imagine it being like anything more than it is.
Yeah.
Anything less than it is actually. But-
Then Ed goes back to see Haggis, and is freaking out like, this isn't what I wanted.
You gotta let it run its course.
This is one of the
Ed.
this is one of the
Oh,
best
yeah.
scenes in the movie.
He's such a good fucking actor, dude.
Yeah.
That whole
Not
scene.
like this. Yeah, it's like he's like
He was like, "Cut! Can we do this again? I didn't put enough twang.
yeah.
I need to put a little more
He
twang."
was like, how do we?
He's like, "Can you see my
How do I stop this?" And she's like, "You can't stop it. It's got to run its course. Like you can't stop it." And he said, "Then I'll stop it." And she's like, "Well, then you'll die."
So, can you break down like how this whole process works? So, like
What becomes?
so if you have something that it was like what is it? How is it sold in the movie, or is it told in the movie? Is it basically like if someone's done something and you not necessarily want to get revenge or you need some bidding done
Mhm.
to do this, you have to like what's the process?
I mean, you're basically you're the way I look at it is like he's having to tear his soul apart. He's becoming part of the demon.
Yeah.
Like the demon's only alive because he has connected his life force
and
to
the more
Exactly.
the more Pumpkinhead kills, the more it starts looking like Ed
yeah.
Harley.
If you notice in this movie, they
He starts
slowly
getting a
make
nose.
they slowly make the Pumpkinhead start getting more human features the more he kills.
Yeah, and I didn't notice that until it's like obviously the very end scene when they do those real close shots of Pumpkinhead's face, and then you see, oh shit, it's actually taking.
And then Ed Harley's eyes turn
Yeah.
like they look like reptiles' eyes.
Yeah.
which is that's a really cool effect too.
The
I wanted it to be
yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, that's my
just in case someone was listening and didn't understand.
yeah. He connects his life
how to
force.
invoke, I should have said.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, he connects his life force through his blood.
But then it makes you wonder, like, the kid's blood was also included. Like, is he burning in hell?
Well, no, I think the kid's blood is because that's who you want to get vengeance for.
So basically, once you've done this summoning, you've invoked Pumpkinhead. Your soul you're in limbo now.
Yeah, you're done.
You're done. You can no longer live a normal human life.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like he mistakenly when she said, I mean, if you listen to what she said there's a price to pay. He thinks, oh, it's money,
Right.
and then he says, I'm going to stop it myself, and then she says, oh, then you'll die sooner.
Yeah,
Because the only way to stop it is for him to die.
exactly.
So she's telling him, she's just like very not telling him, you know.
Yeah,
She let him
she's being vague
assume
in a
like,
way.
yeah, she's like, oh yeah, you can throw your money here, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about your soul, you know. And
Exactly.
so after those killings, the kids, I keep calling them kids, but the young adults,
Shitheads.
the city folk. There was
Those
only one of
shitty
them was
flickers?
really only one of them
No,
was a
they're all
shithead.
fucking shitheads.
They just want to go out and enjoy some nature.
So we left off at
Shitheads.
he's Pumpkinhead's rubbing I forgot the character's name, but her face in the glass, which is
Yeah,
it's one of the more creepier scenes in the movie.
yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, and they're like, I think they're like, we got to get the fuck out of here. Like they're gonna try to run away. They try to get out, and Joel's girlfriend gets got, and she
Yeah.
like gets pulled up.
My favorite scene is when she hides in the closet and Pumpkinhead.
Oh, that's the boy,
That's the little boy.
the little boy.
The redneck.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, he
He
does a fake
fucking
out.
goes in there, and he's looking around, and then he backs out. But Pumpkinhead fucking turns back. It looks all crazy and
Yeah.
shit. That's an awesome scene.
That's a
Like,
really
that
good one, yeah.
shit looks so good.
Yeah.
Being that long ago. Like, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
That's my favorite scene out of the whole movie.
So they're trying to run away.
Because the kid shows up, right?
Yeah.
I totally forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, he's gonna show up in a little bit.
Yeah. You're jumping so far ahead.
It's not that far. I mean, everybody fucking dies. That's what the movie's about. So anyway, go ahead.
But he grabs her and pulls her up on the tree, and this is the first time they've seen Pumpkinhead in all his glory, like all of them. And it runs up this tree while holding her, and they're looking at her, and he just like whoop, like throws her down. She comes down, hits a rock, like, and breaks her back, and is just bleeding out in her mouth.
Yeah, which is actually, to kind of backtrack a little bit. So once Ed Harley goes, he's going towards Haggis. This is when the atmosphere of the movie really kicks in, like the lighting, the fog, the swampiness, like that old, kind of seedy, like,
And everything's at night
stinky,
from here on.
sweaty,
This is like
yeah.
one night, and it's the lighting
is it this? Yeah,
is
this
awesome.
Yes, exactly. This type of like ambience is like what really like pulled me into the movie when I first saw it. Like this kind of darkness.
Yeah, so like the just a couple scenes, like the church where there's like
Yes,
the light coming
such
through.
a fucking good scene,
Dude,
too.
they
When he
have
grabs
all
the
this-
cross.
They have all this high lighting. Even when they're running through the woods, there's like, moonlight or whatever, but it's like lit really cool and blue, and there's like a lot of smoke, and it just really, every shot like that looks so good.
Yeah, there's that scene also when Joel. It's after he grabs the or the first girl, and then Joel's running back into the house, and he sees him in the house where he's like coming through, but it's like backlit,
Yeah.
and super foggy, and he sees he tries to hit him with a machete, I think, right, and then he like blocks him.
Yeah.
Like, fucking. But yeah, that scene when the way they lit Pumpkinhead is I mean the whole atmosphere of this movie is fucking awesome from Haggis on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, man, it goes from nice country afternoon to fucking...
Yeah, exactly. Like the juxtaposition between the super sunny, dusty kind of fucking redneck, like, side of the road kind of, wholesome thing, I guess.
Yeah.
To this fucking just
Bloody
the
massacre.
demon has really come into play. Like,
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah, and I mean,
gnarly.
even like just, yeah, they did a really good job at that.
That's when Ed shows up, right?
No. At first, they.
After he drops her from the tree, Ed shows up and shoots him.
No, that's a little bit later on. That's right before Joel gets killed with the shotgun.
Yeah, that was right before, yeah.
That's when
Because Joel goes to check on him.
Well, they go run to a different area.
Oh,
to
they go to the
another
shanty.
house. Yeah, and they try to steal this guy's truck, but it's locked, which is hilarious that this truck is locked.
Yeah, in the middle of shanty.
Fucking,
There's like
you go,
6
and
people there.
He's like, ah, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're asking for help and all that stuff. Joel is the next to die in this thing, and that's what you were saying. Do you want to talk about that? About how Joel dies?
Yeah, which it's, I think, heavily foreshadowed in the movie because there's a lot of gun talk within his character. And then, of course, this also simultaneously coincides with Ed showing up to shoot Pumpkinhead, which he does, and they think he's killed. Joel goes over to him, which is, I mean, anybody who's seen one scary movie knows that
The
It's
killer's
not
never
dead.
dead
it's
right away.
never dead. So he walks over to him.
I like
and he
how
does-
he's laying there. He looks all
Yeah.
small.
And Joel does what any person would do that would walk up to a monster that
He
is
goes, feels his neck.
He
To see if
go-
he has a pulse.
yeah. he goes and yeah. But what he does is he shoots him in the head point blank, and he goes, "Well, he's dead now." And then as soon as he says that, obviously Pumpkinhead grabs him.
Yeah.
And this is when Pumpkinhead pulls the gun out of his hand, turns it on him, and for a second, and when I remember seeing this movie being like, holy shit, Pumpkinhead's gonna use a gun with his long, gangly fingers, which seems impossible to pull a trigger at all. And what he does actually is it's misdirect, and he impales him with a gun.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing scene, which also the lighting is fucking incredible. Backlit, and he's holding him up, impaled on a gun. Like, it's incredible.
Michael Myers did that later, too.
Yeah.
Fuck Michael Myers.
Oh, Sid's laptop died. Are you on your phone now?
Rest in peace.
All right.
But yeah, I think one of the, I think that has to be my favorite kill in that movie. Just because, you know, Joel's character is such a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
That you obviously know he's gonna die in this movie. You just don't know when and how. And they dragged it out for a long time, and the way he died is perfect.
Yeah, and so then we're left with Chris and Tracy, who are kind of the outside couple, I guess, here. They're the ones who are against the killing in the first place. And
that's when the kid shows up.
That's when the kid shows
and
up.
He tells him,
and he's like, if you want to live, come with me, or, you know, if you want to live, come with me.
Yeah, and then the reason why he shows up is because the Pumpkinhead story is just a story around town. He's never actually seen Pumpkinhead. So he figured out once his parents locked all the doors and told everybody they couldn't go outside anymore, that he had to see for himself if Pumpkinhead was real.
See, old Appalachian hillbillies have Pumpkinhead and Mexicans have lechuza.
Yeah.
We gotta lock the doors because it's juicy.
Lechuza?
Lechuza, it's a witch, an owl witch.
Oh, is that the same as La Lorna? La Lorna?
No, that's the lady by the...
La Lorna?
That's the lady with the...
That lady drawing her
who
fucking
eats
kids.
your ass.
She'll eat your ass.
La Llorona. She'll eat your ass.
She's by the hollering creek calling for her kids. I'm like, bitch, you killed them.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that's how the kid shows up, because he's trying to really find out if Pumpkinhead is...
It says you
real.
can't stop him. You got to let him kill the one that's marked. And if you try to, you're marked next.
Yeah.
You got to eat his ass.
Yeah, so they're on the run, and Chris, man, fucking Chris, he's like, I'm going to go out.
That's that thing that they sing?
I'm going to go out and get my motorcycle.
Lock doors.
I'm going to go out and get my motorcycle and take off. So he runs out to the motorcycle. Well, the cars are all flipped upside down and destroyed. And he's like, oh, well, there's one of the motorcycles. He goes, he kickstarts it, and he's like, and nothing happens. Fucking Pumpkinhead shows up, and he's like smiling, holding the chain like, you're fucked.
So somehow Pumpkinhead used those gangly fingers to pull a chain off.
Dude, he probably just put his knuckle around there and went, boop.
Yeah, and then he proceeds to do his deadlift, him on the motorcycle. He deadlifts the motorcycle with that guy on it.
Dude, he did like a clean press with that thing.
Yeah,
it's like over his head.
Yeah.
He
That
throws that
strong.
bitch.
And he done chucked him in the creek.
And what's crazy at this point, he's like there, and he's alive, and he's kind of like, oh. And dude, his fucking girlfriend and the redneck just take off and leave him.
As you would do, though. Like, in any instance where...
Right now, your wife is watching this, and she's like, you motherfucker.
She would, she understands, and you know what? If it was me, I would be like, I totally get it. If you ran,
But he wasn't
be mad.
dead. So,
But he gonna die.
You know what I did like is he's like crawling, and I thought it was really cool because Pumpkinhead walks up and puts that big fucking foot on his back, and it's just
when I looked at those, I was trying to. They reminded me of like raptor legs or something.
Yeah.
Like something that would have been the Jurassic Park raptor, obviously, but not like the.
They remind me of Egyptian jackal feet.
Yeah.
You know the old jackal gods, Anubis.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought they were wolf gods.
No, they're jackals.
Yeah, jackals is more.
Which makes it. I wonder if they use that. You know what I mean? Because Anubis was a
Which, I mean, like, the creature in itself, Pumpkinhead, is like an amalgam of a bunch of different things, because it looks almost alien. Like, it looks extraterrestrial. Obviously it's a demon, but, you know, and it's, I don't know, it's crazy. And it looks like it looks prehistoric, like a dinosaur, too. Like, it's...
And it talks. It talks in this. Out of all the movies, this is the only movie that it talks in.
Out of all the preceding sequels?
Out of the 3.
What does he say?
He says, "I'm gonna eat your ass."
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah. I mean, if he has only one line, if you had a movie and your central character never said anything, and the only thing he ever said was, "I'll eat your ass," like, that makes it. His only credited line, "I'll eat your ass." I'll eat your ass.
So then Ed shows up again, and he's like,
He gets stabbed.
"What? No," he's like, "Come with me," and they like,
You know,
they jump in the truck and take off. And Pumpkinhead, you see Pumpkinhead just grab Chris by the head, and just like he's dragging him along. Like, dude, what the fuck? And
Did you see WTF?
WTF?
Drag my boy.
And they get to he tells them to go inside their house, and he's like trying to make preparations, and he has a flamethrower in the barn. Fucking grabs a flamethrower. He's
Dude,
like,
I want a flamethrower.
I'm gonna send this bitch back to hell. And
he says, I actually wrote down this line because I thought it was pretty cool. He says, "Nothing can stop it, but I'm gonna send it back to whatever hell it came from."
yeah, and so he has this flamethrower, and he's like he's determined to kill this thing. Well, he shows up. He's still dragging Chris behind him, right? Yeah, and they go into battle with him. He runs. He shoots the flamethrower at him, right? Does Ed shoot the flamethrower at him? I know the girl does.
He drops it because when he's going around the barn door.
Yeah.
The flamethrower cord gets caught on a fucking screw.
I like that scene too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he gets impaled by a pitchfork.
And the fucking Pumpkinhead screams too.
Yeah.
He's like, "Ay, caramba."
Yeah, I remember when I first saw it, that was when I realized, I was like, oh, it's an extension of him.
Yeah, just like in Freaky.
Shit. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, okay, fuck, I get it now.
So then the girl grabs the flamethrower and Tracy, and she tries to blast him. Man, it has no effect at all. I mean, zero. He just he comes out of the flame just kind of smoking a little bit.
Fucking from hell, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's been hot.
And,
he's been hotter.
And so, it's basically everybody's about to die. Mm-hmm. And Ed Harley walks over to his truck, grabs his trusty 6-shooter.
He now realizes that the only way to stop Pumpkinhead,
he's like, oh, that's what she meant,
is he has to basically kill himself.
Yeah.
So he does a fucking Kurt Cobain.
Mm-hmm. Which is strange because in this moment he gets in his truck, he pulls out the revolver, or what is it?
He has a revolver.
And sorry, I just want to make sure my guns are right on here. But he puts it to his head, and then he pulls the trigger. You don't see it, obviously.
Yeah.
They show you Pumpkinhead, which is brilliant because in this situation he drops immediately. But what's crazy to me is, he's shot himself point blank.
I think he puts it right here. Oh, shit. I think he puts it right here, and that, maybe it hit a bone and came out the side.
No, but by this time he's fully.
No, he puts it here because he puts it to the temple because when he falls, he has.
He puts it.
Temple.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that's what the camera kind of is focusing on. But that's what I was saying. It's wild to me that unless maybe it grazed him or something.
No, by this time he's metamorphosis into fucking Pumpkinhead.
Okay, so
he gets back up.
Sense as to why
he gets back up and he starts growling at Tracy.
Okay. Yeah, because
because he gives her, she gets
and then she says, I guess maybe he snaps out of it a little bit.
Oh yeah,
finish me off,
kill me, yeah.
So she fucking blasts him, and then I just started blasting.
And then little Pumpkinhead falls over, dead too.
Dead as hell. And then seconds after that, immediately catches fire, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I thought that was cool too.
Can't be burned, but he can fucking spontaneously
when he's
combust.
dead, he does.
Yeah.
So I think then, I mean, the movie's over pretty much, except for it shows.
And then you realize,
Yeah, it shows the witch lady. She basically goes and gets Ed Harley's dead body and throws him into the hole where
so
Pumpkinhead lives.
you turn into the
But
demon.
you don't. I don't think, as a viewer, you don't. I guess you don't really realize that, right?
They show something that he
Until
has.
they drop his body in, and you see the necklace his son gives him at the very beginning of the movie.
So fucking sad, dude.
And
Fuck.
that really wraps it up, and you go,
Oh
Fuck.
shit! Like he's the next fucking demon.
And so you're like, well, sometimes you just gotta let stuff go.
No, fuck that. I would do the same fucking thing.
you don't.
But I would just get a bunch
The
of.
moral of the story is just be nice.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Just be nice.
Just hit sick airs and don't kill people.
Yeah, hit sick airs, not sick kids.
Yeah. Or yeah, exactly. But I mean,
You know who was a huge fan of this movie?
Who?
Anne Rice.
oh really?
Yeah, she's a super fan of this movie.
Anne Rice.
I love
she
to hear
was
shit
badass.
like that. I love hearing shit like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
Anne Rice wrote like 70 vampire books.
She did?
Most of them have
I
us
thought-
sucking on dicks.
I thought she just wrote those like homoerotic novels.
No, Anne Rice did like Interview with the Vampire,
Wasn't that about two gay guys that lived together?
Eating the Vampire's Ass. Eating the Vampire's Ass Part 2.
Yeah, it's about a pedophile.
Vampire's Ass, the prequel.
Yeah.
It's about two gay men that, right? I
Two gay
mean,
men.
I feel like all her novels are very. The vampires in her books are very.
Which one? Enemy of the Vampire?
Which
wasn't.
now,
I
The
was.
vampire.
now that-
I didn't like it because it wasn't gay enough.
I want to know
The
though.
movie or the book?
The movie. I heard the book is way.
Did you know there's a whole section in the bookstore? It's paranormal, romance, erotic novels.
I heard her.
Dude.
She made these porn like straight up.
Anne Rice?
Yes, and they're out there. And one of my friends read it. She was like, "Dude, it's fucking dirty."
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
Where is this? I'm going to read a couple of these and then I'm just going to start writing them.
dude, you can find them in any bookstore. I know for a fact.
What are they called?
They're in half price. It's a section called paranormal romance. It's.
Paranormal romance.
I'm not even kidding. Like
This is
they're-
awesome.
It's fucking. The covers, like, they sell the books. I'm not even kidding. Like, they're like horny Fabios with like they're like translucent horny Fabios, and it's incredible. But you gotta like.
The thing's getting too hot
Is it
under there.
It's not like someone let off like a real dry fart.
Yeah.
But it's like
Stinker.
yeah. So just in the romance section, obviously there'll be a section called paranormal romance. It's like a subsection.
It's in the romance section or the
It's in
horror
the
section?
romance-
Doug, you should go. You know,
it's
like
in
at
the romance section.
Barnes and Noble, you should go
Yeah.
get one of the books. Right, take a spray bottle, go sit down in the chairs and start reading. And when nobody's looking, spray yourself with water,
Then you're like, it's
and then
getting heated.
just keep reading. And people walk by and be like, "Holy fuck, there's sweat."
That must be a
But you
good
have to
book.
hold the book out like this. And I kind of.
Mr. Monkey.
Uh-oh. The fog machine's on a clapper. Will you clap twice?
Thanks, Mr. Monkey.
It's how Pumpkinhead clapped them cheeks.
You gotta clap again to turn it off.
Pumpkinhead's coming. To
I know.
eat
See,
your ass.
it looks like Pumpkinhead.
You gotta clap.
He'll eat your ass.
Pumpkinhead, Pumpkinhead, eat your ass.
It kind of has like a cologne-y kind of smell, right?
Carlos
Ken,
likes it a
I
lot.
love that
It's
smell,
a little,
dude.
It's a little musky. It's got an old musk, right?
It's fucking great. I
It's got
want
that 88
to
musk.
drink
like
that fucking.
Pumpkinhead.
I want to drink that fog juice.
You want to wear it?
I want to drink it.
Cause you like the smell so much you would enjoy the taste.
Probably.
I feel like it smells
It's
like.
non-toxic though, right?
I don't know.
I think
I
a
feel like
shooter
it's.
of fog
I
juice.
feel like it smells like how like a country man would smell.
How like
Like Ed
when
Harley
a
would
man
smell.
Yeah.
when
This
a
smells
man
like
gets
Ed
out of
Harley.
the shower and he just showered, but you still go in for a smell and it smells like that. It's still, they're clean but musky.
Yeah, kind of brutish.
Yeah, brutish.
Very brute. Like he's wearing a
That was
He's wearing
exactly. So out there in
collared shirt that's
Twitchland,
like this
you can tell what we're smelling. Brutish nuts.
It's kind of broody. It's a little oaty, kind of nutty, kind of assy at the same time.
Little fucking,
Little dampy.
little,
Some messed up stuff.
kind of
Smells
tree-like.
chud in
What would
here.
you call it? Woodsy? There you go,
Yeah,
woodsy.
it's very it's woodsy, oaky, kind of swampy.
Have you ever heard of the punk band Harley Poe?
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah, there's a band out there called Harley Poe, and they took the name from this. And Eddie
Harley
Allen.
Poe?
Like
Oh,
Edgar
from,
Poe
okay,
and-
yeah, I see.
So, what was your favorite part of this movie?
My favorite part of this movie is probably the opening shot where we see an adult Ed Harley, shirtless, wet, with a flamethrower.
Oh, dude,
That's one of my favorite scenes.
he's just
Uh,
burning a little weed.
He's out there just burning.
He was ripped.
And by the way, a little side note.
That was
when he
not a
take-
tube sock either in his pants.
He was a maniac in his pants. He puts the flamethrower down. He has a giant well, not giant, but like a good sized Confederate flag sticker on there. I don't know if you ever caught that, but I was like,
On the flamethrower?
yeah, it's like just smacked on the side of it.
Heritage, not hate.
88.
Carlos, what was your favorite part?
Favorite part was when
Um,
Pumpkinhead eats her ass.
Yeah. My favorite part is when the little boy sits up in the truck.
That is pretty good. That's pretty good.
It tells you the whole story right there. Like, in his mind, he knows it's wrong because he's daydreaming this, and he knows he shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
That in his mind, it's playing out that his own son's telling him, "What are you doing, Daddy? What are you
Yeah.
doing, Daddy?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he still does it because
I
he's
think-
so fucking sad and just doesn't know what to do.
Is that the moment when he has the turn, when he decides that I have to wrong this right, basically, right? So there's that. Okay, that makes sense too. Yours?
Me, I don't know. It's hard to say because this is
The
like
whole fucking movie's
literally one of my favorite movies. I've
I have-
probably seen this movie 25 times.
I have to say that the more I see it, the more I enjoy it more and more.
great. It's
Yeah.
like the perfect. When people say, "What's your favorite Halloween movie?" Halloween? No, Pumpkinhead, man.
Pumpkinhead, I think is
It's about a fucking demon, a vengeance demon. Like,
Pumpkinhead is a Halloween staple for sure.
I have watched this every year since
you saw it?
since I've seen it probably around Halloween, but I've also watched it just randomly. It's one of the movies that, like, if I'm at the shop or here or whatever, at home or whatever, I'll be like, oh, I just want to put in a movie. If I don't really care and I'm like, oh, I want something that I can kind of pay attention to, but this is one of the ones I'll just stick in.
That's actually that I've had this conversation with multiple people about this same topic. I think that's
yes, Sid, you have to watch this movie, Sid.
yeah, Pumpkinhead is a classic, and I think that the way Doug described it is perfect. It's a great movie to have on in the background, just if you're doing whatever and you're not really like you're half paying attention because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, I do that, but I also like sit down and watch it too.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's like,
That also, I mean, that's
Yeah.
for someone who's seen it multiple times.
Yeah,
and you,
yeah.
but it's
that's how I
definitely
feel about Harry Potter too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do that too for the Harry Potters.
Speaking of,
I can never do that with Lord of the Rings, though. I get caught.
Yeah.
And I start watching, I just sit there. And lo and
Dude.
behold, 4 hours later, I'm like, fuck.
We're gonna have to have a Lord of the Days.
So,
You haven't seen them, have you?
what?
Was it you that said you hadn't seen any of the Lord of the Rings?
Dude, I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Chris,
Chris. Fucking Chris.
I used to. I had him on VHS, and I would watch him.
I've got him on VHS now.
Yeah, they're like 7 VHS, but
It's
yeah,
a 12-pack, right, for 3 movies?
The first one is 1, and
Yeah.
the other 2 are 2.
they come.
You have the same box set that I got, the 4-hour. I bought the Hobbits. You know I have the Hobbits in a box, right?
I haven't
Man,
seen that.
What's crazy about the
They're okay.
The Hobbit?
They
No,
should
No,
have made...
I have seen it. I haven't seen the box. I mean, That was a dumb thing. I haven't seen
I don't
your
think they
box
should
set.
have did 3.
Yeah, it should have been like maybe
Maybe
really
one,
long movie.
1.5. Like make
added
one
a
2
lot.
hours long, and then part 2 would have been like 45.
It's a money grab.
It just
It's a
wasn't
money
the
grab.
same.
And what's his name? Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson didn't want to do it. Yes, your uncle Sid.
Wait, my uncle?
He's never seen Lauder.
Your funkle?
So the
Nope.
what did you not like
What did I not like?
or anything?
I didn't like the fact that a kid dies, but I understand it takes...
Fuck no, dude. That makes the movies.
I know, but I understand that this is what makes the movie. I mean, kids and animals, like, I have a soft spot for those. This is why-
Animals,
this
I
is
don't
why
give a
haven't-
shit. Animals can get
This
fucking
is why I haven't
slaughtered.
seen
Left and right.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Cannibal
You don't
Holocaust
need to
is
watch
rough.
Yeah, you don't need to watch that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want...
I don't ever want to watch that again.
Okay.
I do. I watch it every once in a while.
I specifically put off watching that movie because I know there's like they kill a turtle or something in it, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a real.
That's
they
real.
Yeah, no,
really
that's
kill a
what I'm
turtle,
saying. Like it's an actual death, and
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, it's
But they're actually going to eat that
It's-
fucking thing. That's what they do. How do you expect them to eat?
yeah. I mean, as fucking Joe Bob would say, it's gratuitous.
The thing I don't like about the movie is Joel is like such a big shot asshole. There's no way he'd be riding a 125. He would have totally had a 250 or maybe at that time even a 500.
Fucking
He's
nerd.
such a fucking poser.
Yeah, he wouldn't be riding a 125 with that kind of attitude. I rode a 125, but I knew a 250 was too big for me.
You wouldn't be hitting those sick dunes on a fucking 125.
I would be.
running
Joel
over,
would not be.
running over Coke bottle glass kids.
Yeah. Joel would have been like, I don't need no pussy 125.
I mean, ultimately here, Lance Henriksen just ultimately he steals this movie.
It's his movie.
It's his movie.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that you have an incredible fucking monster, like that when it's in whatever scenes it's in, it's incredible.
I like to think that his character Ed Harley lived and he became a vampire, and the next movie was Near Dark.
Yeah. Which also he did a great job in that movie as well.
Dude,
I
he's
just rewatched
fucking,
that movie.
Dude, I think he's fucking awesome as Bishop.
Which I was gonna
Bishop, dude, he plays a fucking amazing.
Which I was
android.
gonna ask you, what is y'all's like? What do you think is the most underrated vampire movie?
I'm going to guess yours is 30 Days of Night.
That's right.
What'd you say? What?
I wanted to hear what you think is the most underrated vampire movie.
Fuck yeah! I don't care for vampire movies.
Neither do
but
I.
holy fuck, 30 Days a Night. When I finally saw that,
It's mind blowing, right?
Yes.
We shouldn't talk about it too much because we're actually
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about
we're
it
talking
on the
about it.
30th.
Well, I will say this: my wife had never seen it, and like she's not into vampire movies, not even really into horror movies in general. And she was like, "That movie is genuinely creepy. Like it's
Yeah.
it's a gnarly fucking."
And the ending's great.
I don't want to talk about it. Actually, you guys are talking about it. But
yeah.
yes, the movie is fucking awesome. If you haven't seen it, you should.
I like how they left everything in the director wanted. I don't want to talk about it more.
The other one that I really like that I can't get anybody to watch, and I don't know why, is Blood Red Skies.
Blood Red Skies is great.
I couldn't get through the first 10 minutes.
Really good.
Oh,
Are you watching Red Eye?
The one where he's on a plane, right? It's the guy, the Scarecrow from Batman.
Yeah.
That's that one, right?
No. Are you getting him confused?
Yeah.
He's
Blood Red Skies, the one
The
with
Blood
like,
Red-
the mom and the kid.
I just couldn't get into it.
and the first 10 minutes is just building their characters. There's no.
I'm sorry. I give a
stuff.
movie 2 minutes.
It's just like this movie.
2 minutes. If I don't like it, I turn it off. No, I think
Yes.
something came up. I'll watch it. Something
Yeah.
came. I started watching it, and I think I was drawing, so I was missing shit.
Well,
It's
you
subtitled.
definitely. It's a foreign movie.
Yeah,
so
it's subtitled.
definitely-
So I was like, "Fuck, I can't watch this right now."
Yeah. And it's awesome
I hate
because
when that happens.
there's one part where the vampire goes, "Get off my plane."
Yeah, I hate.
Oh,
when,
is it? What's his name? The president?
I hate when I'm just trying to listen to a movie. You know, what I
Yeah.
mean? You want to do other shit and just listen to
It
it.
makes me want to learn how to speak
But
Russian.
But it's got
just so I can-
subtitles, and you're like, fuck. It's
Yeah,
a foreign movie.
Subtitles. I want to learn Russian.
Yeah, what I mean,
But yeah,
What-
30 Days of Night is like if you're into bloody and gruesome movies, and also very creepy and dark, it's amazing.
Russian vampires.
But with like a happy yet tragic, sad ending all at the same time.
Yeah, and it's got a great ending.
I
And
saw
also
that.
Near Dark is cool
I
if
saw
you can catch it in the
saw 30 Days a Night like twice in the theaters. I
Man, I'm
love
jealous.
that movie.
Like I said, I don't like vampire movies. So when it came out, I was like, eh. And then when I finally saw it,
because it had Josh Hartnett in it, right? You were kind of about it.
no, I like him.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that's what I could see the
Dude, Lucky Number 11? Fuck.
Yeah,
You've seen it, right?
yeah. It's been a long time though.
I fucking love that movie.
You
You know, he was supposed to be Batman in the Nolan series, right? But he turned it down. He fucking turned it down because he was like, I don't want to be a superhero. High Tension said that movie makes no fucking sense.
Torture porn.
It makes no sense.
Foreign movie.
High Tension.
I don't know if I've seen High Tension.
I have it. I'll lend it to you. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
What year did it come out?
I don't know what year that came.
Mid 2000s, maybe.
Yeah, mid to late 2000s.
I just rewatched Scream the other day, and
I need to watch that.
dude, that movie is.
Is
so
it not
good.
amazing? I think it's the best Wes Craven movie.
Best
That's me.
Wes Craven.
That's me.
I mean, yeah, I like it because at the time when I rewatching it, you pick up on every single like reference and every meta thing that he's doing. Especially like I haven't seen the movie in a few years, so knowledge about certain things you learn more as you go, obviously. And like I didn't even like this time I watched it, I picked up the scene where it cuts to him, Wes Craven dressed up as a janitor, as
Named.
yeah.
Yeah, and his name is like.
I don't know how he's. He's
No. His name on the janitor's name is like something like.
Oh, I didn't.
Like some other horror director's name or something in it.
They do a nod to that when she's like, what are you? Like, she says like, you think you're in some Wes Carpenter movie?
Yeah, Wes Carpenter. Oh, that's what. Yeah, you
That's
think you're in some Wes Carpenter movie? Yeah. That's
Also,
good.
I didn't like. There's a scene when Rose McGowan comes out with like the hardest nipples you've ever seen in your life. Like when she comes out of the garage door and they're just like straight. Yeah, I was like, "There's no way those are real." But I looked it up and it was like her nipples were actually really hard during this set because it was cold. But I mean, they're like you can cut
Like
diamonds
ridiculous,
with those
yeah.
things. Yeah.
Dude, it's got so many good
Cookies.
kills.
Yeah,
we're
great.
talking about that coming up too.
Oh, you're doing a Scream episode?
Yeah.
Well, fuck. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, see, we picked a lot of good ones. What we didn't pick that's not good is, I'm going to click on this here.
That tiny mouse.
Oh my God, that didn't work.
Where the fuck are you
There we
going?
go. Tomorrow night, we got John Carpenter's
Vampires is a good one too.
Oh, no, it's
Oh,
not.
but
Carlos hates it.
Sucks.
James Woods.
He's the best thing about that movie, but it's terrible.
I mean,
The best thing about it
is pretty gnarly.
Fucking Paul Rudd playing the main vampire. That's cool.
Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta rewatch it. I
You
haven't seen it
picked this
so long.
movie though, right?
Yeah, because I had never seen it. And then I saw it and I was
okay,
like,
okay.
fuck.
Okay.
Those turn of the 21st century movies like that. Those were kind
And then
of
The Fog. The Fog is the shit, dude. I
Yeah.
love The Fog.
The Fog is really good. Man, you're saying so you're saying that Scream is in your opinion the best Wes Craven movie?
Yeah.
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 I'm trying to think of.
But a lot of that might have to do with when I saw it, like how it to me kind of affected horror. I've told Carlos this before. There's a few movies that I feel like when they came out, it just like upped the game for horror. And one of them was Scream. One of them's like 28 Days Later.
At the time when right before Scream came out, horror was it was in a lull in a way.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Horror is so fucking big right now.
And it took a movie that was like so meta.
Hey Paco, I didn't see you there.
Hola.
I said, what's up, Paco?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you.
But
You're
yeah.
flapping your gums.
I actually rewatched Last House on the Left, the original one,
Oof.
recently, and that
Oof.
one is rough.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That is that's literally a hard movie to watch.
Fuck no, dude. That movie's fucking. Ain't nothing hard to watch about that.
Honestly,
There's only one thing that gets.
the remake is
There's only one thing.
stuff?
There's only one thing that
remake-
gets hard watching that.
the remake is really good too. Like the
Yeah.
that one's definitely more gnarly. I mean, but the Wes Craven, like the original one, is super sleazy, like real sleazy.
Yeah, it makes you feel dirty.
Nah.
Dude, speaking of which, I watched. You guys already did Street Trash, right? You talked about that.
Yeah.
I watched that like a little after we had talked about it, and I was like, I think we talked about this, right?
Yeah.
Briefly, but yeah, I really enjoyed that movie a lot. I thought it was fucking.
It's
awesome.
not that bad, right?
No, personally, I didn't. The reason how you sold it to me was that it was an ultra sleazy movie. Even like Emily was like, it makes me feel gross or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, awesome! I'm gonna love this. But I just really liked how like just bonkers it was.
Dude,
like
it is.
Fucking movie. And I will say that
weird.
it's a little too long, though. To be honest,
Yeah.
I like them to sit right at about
82 minutes.
Yeah.
There's a
I'm
new.
very wary of a 100-minute horror movie.
There's
That's why I don't want to see Terrifier 2.
It's
Fucking
longer
2
than that.
hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
there's an original of that's a short film. That
Oh yeah, it's like a 16-minute or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
That's right up your alley.
That's right. Yeah, 16 minutes. All I got.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like you can really put down 2 or 3, 80, 90-minute movies in a sitting, which is nice. I get, pretty
Dude, this is the
reckless.
last part of the list. We've
I know,
finally
my
hit the
God.
last part.
I know. Speaking of 100
After the 31st,
100
we're taking a
hour.
vacation.
Speaking of 100-hour movies, we've been talking for about 100 hours. 100-minute.
Yeah. You
So I don't know if
guys could have watched
you guys
Street
want
Trash
to
instead of this.
wrap it up or got anything else to.
Watch
Talk
this
about.
shit. Watch it.
Yeah, this is a great one. This is.
Oh,
one
and
of
if
my
you
top
really
5.
like this movie, if you look in the merch, I actually designed a Pumpkinhead t-shirt.
You did. I wish I knew how to make that little thing come on, but I don't.
Oh, you did? I'd love to see it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Carlos made a Pumpkinhead T-shirt. It's really cool.
So, order now.
Order now. So what time are we back here tomorrow? 10 o'clock again?
10 o'clock. Tomorrow we're doing... What's tomorrow? Vampires.
Vampires.
God damn
John
it.
Carpenter's.
John Carpenter's
That's going to be a
Vampires.
good 25, 30-minute stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just going to be me sitting here like that.
It sucked. Bye.
I mean,
No,
we don't have to do
It's
it.
a fun movie.
We can switch it. We
You
can switch to a
it
different movie.
To Ghost of Mars.
Ghosts of Mars.
The fuck is-
Jason goes to hell. Jason X. Okay. Join us tomorrow.
Join us tomorrow. Tune in and talk shit. Thanks, Cody. Thanks, everybody who tuned in. Sid, Mr. Monkey, Paco.
And watch
everyone.
Pumpkinhead because he'll eat your ass.
He's gonna eat your ass. Bye, Lyric.
Bye, Lyric.